Welcome back to WagerTalk.com. In studio with Johnny Detroit and special guest Preston, but you know him better as the Sports Cheetah on Twitter. Preston, you've done two guides. This year was the first year that you did the NFL guide. You'd been doing the college football guide. They're absolutely mind-blowing. And, you know, it's one of the reasons whenever reached out to you through Twitter, when we saw the work that you did on these things, there's nothing out there. And Johnny, you've been in the industry a long time like me. You're sitting there with a magazine, you know, it used to be everybody's Bible. It's, you know, it's Phil Steele's Bible, but it's great information. But what you do, and I'm going to let you explain it, but to tell the listeners, it's for the better. Nobody has done a preview based solely for the better in mind. And, you know, you just did a radio show here in town a couple weeks ago when a couple days after we launched the Cheetah Guide, and Matt Yeomans, well-respected radio host here in town, and Dave Koken, they couldn't stop ranting and raving about your publication. And
it's not just because the dude's like 6'9", like seriously, his seat is on the floor. He walked in, I was like, dude, you said this cat was big, man. He looks like a pro wrestler. But I just want to steal your thunder for a second from the ESPN guys. Is to me, it's not just wager talking. It's why having like a young gun like this is awesome. Is, you know, Phil Steele stuff is great, but you know, this was my first year reading the Cheetah Guide, and historically these kind of magazines had information on all the teams and a bunch of like garbage trends. But the problem is you needed these magazines because of me being from Michigan to know about the SEC or whatnot. There wasn't anything online. There wasn't all these TV stations to learn about these teams. So this generic information was awesome back in the day. Well, now to know who's starting for Florida State, I can go online and find that. His guide is power ratings and gambling stuff, and it's just mind-blowing how good it is.
I appreciate the praise, because that's really nice.
Oh, we're scared of you, too.
Yeah.
I'm not out for Detroit. I got a shake in my sock.
They have to say that. Yeah. But really, I guess that was my main point of doing this in the first place when I started. It was about 3 years ago that I did that. So there's been 3 publications for the college football guide, and then this is the first time I did it for the NFL. But I just wanted to kind of simplify it as far as like when you're looking at a Phil Steele magazine, he has so many words on a page, and there's multiple pages for each team, and there's all those trends, and he has capital letters sometimes, and sometimes there aren't capital letters, and it's really hard to follow. So I wanted to simplify it, have one team on one page, but then I wanted to have that gambling, bettors angle, and kind of that niche where, hey, if you want to try to, especially if you're trying to learn how to do this yourself and become a better handicapper, having those base power ratings, which I can say confidently are really sharp going into a season, are huge. You know what lines are supposed to be entering the season. You're not kind of guessing, or you're not waiting to watch teams the first few weeks and then potentially, you know, overreacting to what you saw in week 1 or week 2. And so ultimately, that was my idea. Is I wanted to try to help people become bettors themselves, or at least learn how to handicap games, or why lines are this or that. And then I also, you know, have information about projected win totals and futures for those that actually want to bet on those. Those are the ones that I personally bet. They can also follow those. But really, when people ask, you know, when the season starts, is this worth anything? I'm like, absolutely, you know. And I'll probably bring the price down or something like that, and we can sell it for less because they won't have that opportunity to bet the futures anymore. But just that power rating base and the information on the teams there as their schedule goes on is still.
And anybody out there that buys either edition of the Cheetah Guide or the NFL version, college or NFL, you're going to get a coupon in there if you want to buy your full season. You can save 25% on the season, and right now we've got early bird specials up, so there's already a discount at the site. But as a thank you for buying the Cheetah Guide, because we want to grow this. We want to get this in as many people's hands as possible. They can pick up 25% off, and you do some tremendous stuff. And we've got some surprises down the road that we're working on. You did last basketball season, which in the playoffs was really cool. And this is why we wanted the young blood, and you went on Twitch.
And I had to look it up. And I'm usually the one a part of the team that knows like all the
little young
technology. And I'm like,
I knew it from poker, because poker broke Twitch first, and then you took it a step further where you're letting people follow you, do your live in-game betting, following you on screen with Twitch. And how cool was that to see a guy actually making his bets and talking about
sitting on my couch. So I'm watching it anyway. I'm betting it anyway. So
I'd have a big bowl of popcorn and some snacks.
A lot of snacks. I've been at your house.
But guys, we're very excited about the future of Wager Talk, and one of those reasons, and we're not just blowing smoke up his butt. We're really excited about having Cheetah, on board, and you're gonna cutting edge stuff. You're the young blood, and we've got everything covered. And and I know that you've got. We're running long, but I'm get you out there. You're psychology major, so that you can do the sports. I like that because I get to talk to somebody else about what do you think about this. When I do my situational stuff and that, and you actually got to work with some athletes.
Absolutely.
When you went to school, so excited about that. He's Johnny Detroit, Sports Cheetah. That's it for this one. We're going to be back one more video. Check it out, wagertalk.com.